Hey, it's Dr. Fanistel. I'm going to show you something today that can get you out of panic. So this is a tool that you can use to get out of a panic attack. Nothing works every time. Nobody has anything that works every single time, but I have literally seen this get people out of panic attacks and avoid trips to the emergency room. When in my previous iteration as a primary care doctor for 30 years, I would have looked at them and go, holy crap, what are we going to do? We got to get you some Ativan or get you calmed down somehow. And now I'm like, let's try this first. And I've seen it work over and over again. So remember, as we do these exercises, we're keeping in mind the new neuroscience. Because I'm not fixing you, I don't fix anybody, I just show you how your brain works, give you some tools to rewire it. And the new neuroscience is showing us that anxiety is something different than some chemical imbalance or some genetic problem that you have. And just to drive home the point about how this is the new neuroscience, let me just read a quote from the book called How Emotions Are Made by Lisa Feldman Barrett. She's a neuroscientist at Northeastern University. And as a neuroscientist, she is one of the lead advocates towards these new theories in neuroscience. Let me just read you a quote from her book. "We are, I believe, in the midst of a revolution in our understanding of emotions, the mind, and the brain. A revolution that may compel us to rethink such radical tenets of our society as our treatments for mental and physical illness, our understanding of personal relationships, our approaches to raising children, and ultimately, our view of ourselves." If you are listening to this channel and you're adopting these new ways of thinking, you're part of this revolution. And if you know somebody who you think would be helped, but they're having trouble buying into this, I'd ask you to turn them towards my TED Talk. It's unlisted by TED. They said it would be potentially dangerous to tell people they could fix themselves. But you can find it in the link below. If you Google my name and TEDx, I think you get my website and there's a link there. But turn your friends onto this, or your relatives, or anybody you think might benefit if you're already into these ideas, because that TED Talk's a quick, easy way to get a lot of people on board. Okay, that's all a caveat for moving forward here. Let's take this new understanding of anxiety and understand what we're doing, and then we'll show you how to use this to get out of panic. This different way of understanding anxiety. Here's a picture, a graphic representation of what's happening. I got this from my colleague, Ivani Dilger. She's a psychotherapist in Boulder who runs some great courses through the schools here. She's got a program at the high school called Natural Highs, helping kids stay off of drugs and use these mind-body tools to stay mentally healthy. So that's where I got this. And here's a picture on the far left. I'm in low energy state. I'm chilling, nothing's going on, and then a stressful event happens. Now, the stressful event might be just waking up in the morning for some people, but whatever. When a stressful event happens, my brain and body react. My pituitary gland and my adrenal gland start squirting out hormones to get me ready for fight or flight. And there's literally more energy in my body as these hormonal changes take place. My muscles tighten up. Yeah, they are ready for action. My heart beats faster. Yep, because I'm going into fight or flight. I need to pump some blood. All sorts of things happen. And I'm at a high energy level. There's literally more energy in my body now. You could say that that's anxiety. You wouldn't be wrong. But you could also call it survival energy, because it's the same thing that every body on the planet does. Every body and brain, pituitary, adrenal gland turns on under stress to put you in this fight or flight state to benefit you, to protect you. So it's not a disease. And now you're at high energy level. At this point, if you fight off an assailant or you run from a lion, well then, boom. At the end of the day, I'm having dinner with my compadres and I'm saying, man, you wouldn't believe what happened to me today, but I burned the energy off and I'm back down to a lower energy state. But if you don't burn it off, you're stuck up here at this higher level, and that feels like crap. So what can you do? One thing some people do, when I start feeling anxious, I can do a breathing exercise. I'm a huge fan of breathing exercises. In fact, I think it's criminal that we don't teach clinicians, every clinician, including regular primary care doctors, about breathing. It's such a powerful tool, and I have more to say about that. You can find breathing exercises all over the place. I'm a fan of them. But what do you do when you can't breathe? What do you do when you're too amped up for a breathing exercise to do anything? And the exercise that we want to try today involves burning off this energy. Anxiety is nothing more than a high energy state in your body. That's all it is. It can feel like crap, but that's what it is. So knowing that, what do we do about it? We burn it off. And the exercise I'm talking about here is called a shaking and dancing exercise, or a shaking and dancing meditation. I learned this from James Gordon. He's a Harvard-trained psychiatrist who runs the Center for Mind-Body Medicine in Washington, D.C. He teaches this all around the world in war-torn areas, people who've undergone all sorts of stress. This is something that can help them, and this can help you. So the first time I did this with a patient, it felt weird. I'm a freaking like doctor. I give drugs, I do procedures. I'm like, okay, let's fix this thing. And here I was doing shaking and dancing with somebody in my office. Felt kind of weird. Not anymore though, because I've seen it help so many times. Now I'm thinking, why would I send you to the ER? I mean, if you need to, we can go there. I'm not opposed to that if needed. Let's try this first. I see it work all the time. So I won't do the whole thing with you today. You can Google it and you can find some examples on YouTube. But this is the essence of it, is we just want to burn the energy up. So when I do this with somebody in the office, I usually turn some music on, helps us keep going. And what we're doing is we're shaking and dancing. We are moving. We're using the large muscle groups to burn off this excess energy. I'm at high energy level. How do I get rid of that? I burn it off. And we use our large muscle groups. The glutes, we bounce up and down. The quads, we shift from side to side. Maybe sway the hips. Get these hip girdle muscles involved. Get your shoulders involved. Lots of big muscles around the shoulders. Get those going. Get them bouncing. Get the arms moving. If you want to move the neck around, yeah, you bet. Use all your muscles. I'm going up and down, my toes to my heels, using the calf muscles, using all these big muscles. And I'm going to do this for about 5 minutes, maybe 7 or 8 minutes even. Can feel kind of goofy. In the office with somebody, I'm telling people, okay, we're going to keep going. Oh, it's only been a minute. We're going to keep going. It can feel a little bit odd, but we got the music going. I'm doing it with them. I'm getting my little exercise while they're doing it. And the mistake people make is sometimes they stop after a minute or two and go, it didn't really help. Keep going. It's 5 minutes, it's 6, might be 7, usually not longer than that. And we're burning all of these muscles. You could just dance if you want, but when I say shaking and dancing, you don't have to be rhythmic, you don't have to look good. Take the pressure off. Nobody's looking at you. You can do this by yourself. You can do it with someone if you want. I have a woman who says, yeah, whenever I get anxious, I turn on some music and dance in the kitchen. My kids used to laugh at me, now they just come join me. So it could be just dancing. But this is also something that, a lot of people recognize, and I hear this all the time. You know what's great for my anxiety? I go for a run or I go for a hike every day. What happens when you've got chronic pain in such a way that you can't hike or you can't run? Oh, I can't do my exercise. Now, can you move some large muscles? Can you find something that will do this? And this can work on a regular basis, of course. If you're doing exercise every day, I have a lot of people who find that to be good for their anxiety. But this is something that when you're even close to panic, just start moving and see what happens. So, we go on with this, and usually somewhere around 5 or 6 minutes, I'll turn the rhythmic music off, and we'll put on something like a Grateful Dead or Three Little Birds by Bob Marley or something, and we'll just do just more of a gentle sway for a minute or two. Let the breath come back in. I've just used a lot of energy, and just relax into that music for a minute or two, and then stop and see how you feel. I've had a lot of people who just say, wow, I don't think I have to go to the ER. I think that did it. So, something to try. Nothing works for everyone, but I'd love to hear in the comments if people say, hey, this is really helpful for me, or I've already discovered this. And if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't work for you. Mind-body medicine is all about using your own internal wisdom to find what works best for you. So, you want to take from me what sounds good and don't use what doesn't sound good. And you figure it out for yourself because you have your own innate internal wisdom about what's going on. I'm just showing you a bunch of tools where you can access that and some different ways to approach anxiety. And this treatment is based on what is physiologically happening in your body during anxiety. Give it a try. Thanks for joining me today. You can find me at bouldermindbodymedicine.com, and I'll see you next time.